Okay. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to this meet, and I'm really proud to be the first participant for this series of aviation talks organized by WICCI National Council and supported by G100. You will see a lot of talks, interesting talks coming up in the series, and as we celebrate the Women's Day, we will be interested to network more and showcase what we are doing in the aviation field. All right. So I would just want to give the format before we start. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself because most of the audience are maybe in the aviation field, but it would be good to know. In the second part, I will be discussing about the topic, what I have chosen and why. And I will give you 5 mantras of how to adopt a pilot's mindset in day-to-day life. Thereafter, it will be open for the question and answers, and this will be the format. All right. So let's start. I'm Wing Commander Jaya. I retired from the Indian Air Force in 2021 after a very colorful career of flying. I flew more than 3,000. It's been a interesting career because flying in military and flying in outside civil world is totally different. You get a lot of good chances to know the world when you fly in military. I got a lot of opportunities to fly the VIPs. I got a lot of opportunities to serve the country in many ways. I also gained the instructors batch for aviation and aviation incident and accident investigator. So this is something I carry with the proud. I got a chance or the opportunity of being very, very privileged to land in one of the most dangerous airfield in the world, which is Paro. Uh, there are very few pilots who are cleared for this airfield, but I got a chance, and I feel very proud to announce that. I flew with Prime Minister Modi in 2021, and I also hold many records of landing all women crew in different ALGs, like advanced landing grounds in the Northeast. So it's been a very interesting and satisfying career in the Indian Air Force. And after that, serving for around 15 years, I changed gears. I came on to the corporate world. I worked with Amazon Air Operations, where I got a good exposure on working with the worldwide teams. I became a member of G100. I became a member of Wiki. Sometime I will really tell you that this initiative. So this is all about me. I'm also a life coach, and that is how I chose this topic here, because I've seen in many ways, whatever we do, whatever profession we choose, it start it starts to ingrain within our personalities. And same happened with me. After flying for so many years, there are many lessons I learned in flying, and after some time, I see that I have started practicing it on a day-to-day basis. And hence, I really wanted to share all this with you all. All right. So it will be a one-to-one on the lessons part, and we will see how these small lessons which I learned in air, it translates into the daily life which we live. Because as a life coach, I have seen that there are a lot of mindsets which we adopt in our profession, and these mindset help us in living day to day, and plus tackling in all the situations which we encounter in life on a day to day basis. So the first one comes is, you have seen that most of the pilots are very cool in nature, and when I say cool, it is all about keeping calm in very, very turbulent situations. Why is it so? Why is it different for pilots and different for many other people? There are many times which I have seen that in a group of people where a small incident or something happens, a circumstance, and people get panicky. But in the flying, we have seen that most of us, most of the pilot fraternity, are very very calm in the turbulent situations. Why is it so? So I'll tell you a small story that during our training times, what happens is before we touch the aircraft, we are supposed to put a poster in front of us and practice it with eyes closed and in it's like a meditative emergencies. And once you are thorough with all your actions on ground, then only you go to the aircraft. Because how aircraft environment is different, it is time, speed, and accuracy. In the air, you don't get time to, you don't get a lot of time to think because the aircraft has speed and you are moving at a faster pace. But accuracy is required. You have to take risk and be accurate in whatever you decide. And we tackle is for the time, what we do is a lot of thumb rules are there. Like it is not calculation. We are going from point A to B. On ground, we have a lot of time to do mathematical calculations. But in air, it is not there. So how we do it is thumb rules. So thumb rules actually uh, give you the strength to calculate faster. It ingrains in you that you can tackle any situation. And hence, the pilots get very, very calm in pressure environment. It is very difficult for people to tackle. So if you apply this rule that you should always fall back to your basics whenever there is any adverse condition where you feel that you are losing your calm, you should always fall back to your basics or the practices. In life coaching sessions, what we do is we write down the strengths and the weaknesses. Once you know your strengths, you practice it on a daily basis, and you will be surprised with the results that whenever any adverse situation happens, you fall back on your strengths. You get a habit of falling back on your strengths, and in the bargain, you remain very calm. So this is one point where I see that whatever we have learned in flying to remain calm, to be in control, it is very much required to work on yourself, work on the right things in on ground to handle the situations. Because being calm is important in any situation. If you are not calm, if you are panicking, if you are reactive to any situation, it is going to be affect your solution, your reasoning, everything. So be calm, right? The second thing is a very it's a metaphor, and it's a very practical in day-to-day life. We say that the sky above and the runway behind is of no use. How it is of no use? Because once an aircraft take off, we look forward. So this metaphor, if you see in a practical situation, it says that you have to be foresighted and proactive in nature. How do you do it? Because once you take off, you look forward for what is there, right? How what is the weather ahead? How are you going to navigate through the situation? How you are going to plan your descent and all those things. So it is the pilot has to be foresighted. And in the training stage, again, we were told that every pilot, if you want to be a good pilot, you have to uh, think ahead of the aircraft, because aircraft is not going to stop for you for your thinking or your decision making. So you have to be very, very be always ahead of the aircraft. If you give time to the aircraft and stop and give a lot of time to thinking, the aircraft will overtake you, and then the situation will get out of hand. So this is one part which I really like, that always have a foresighted approach in handling any kind of work situation, life, anything. Also be very very proactive, because many a times what we do is we become very reactive to a situation. Anything happens and we see that, we think that okay, first act and then we will see what happens. But I think the other ways, that first you maintain your calm and then you look forward for what is the correct solution for the situation to be handled well, because a well handled situation is always a success. So this is when we say that the sky above and the runway behind is of no use. Again, this situation says uh, that you should not hold on to your past. There are many people who hold on to their past, and they are not learning from them, and hence they are not able to handle any kind of uh, handle well their present, and then it affects the future. So what we say is, learn from the past, act in the future, act in the present to make your future better. So this is how we look forward to every sortie or every flying. Whenever we fly, we see we are very very foresighted, and we act in a way that the aircraft is not ahead of us, but we are ahead of the aircraft. Uh, So the takeaway from this is, you have to be very clear and concise about decision making. Be fast, be proactive, and have the foresighted approach. The next lesson I would like to share with you is when to listen and when to decide. There is a difference between listening, taking inputs, and deciding. And the best example comes from the CRM, the crew resource management or the cockpit resource management. See, how we see is the aircraft is an environment in its own. We have pilot, we have co-pilot. In many cases, we have navigators, engineers. There are many people sitting around and giving their inputs. How we do in the aircraft is, everyone has a different mindset. Everyone has a different way of handling a situation. But as soon as anything happens in the air, like we go into the weather, or we want to navigate into out of skirt the cloud, or any other adverse situation arises, we should listen to everyone. This is how we do in aviation, that listen to everyone, but decide in time. It should not happen that you continue listening to everyone and then get confused, because a lot of options again confuse you, rather than help you in making a decision. So listen, but take decision in time. It is very important for a pilot to do that. And um, again, when we translate into work, we are managers, we are at senior positions. There are many people who will try to influence you. So listen to them. It's okay to listen to everyone, take inputs, but decide in time and decide on your own, because the final outcome of whatever you are doing, it will come through your decision. So these are three lessons. The fourth one is decision making under extreme pressure. How do pilots do it? Because you have seen that whenever a pilot is there in the cockpit, whatever the circumstances be, the passengers rely on the pilot. They rely on the skills that he will save you. And I have seen that many people think that if there is any turbulence, they uh, start praying to the pilot like a god. So in plane, definitely pilot is your god, because he is the only one who can save you. So in decision making under extreme circumstances, it is very important to follow three rules. Three rules in the sense, one is aviate, navigate, and communicate. This is a metaphor again used in aviation, that whatever the circumstances be, continue flying the aircraft. This is the first thing which we apply, is continue flying the aircraft. Once you have your bearings correct, you see what is happening around in case of any emergency when it happens. So this is the metaphor for that. Uh, Once you have your bearings correct, you know what is happening around, what is the problem in hand, then you start navigating. What is navigating? Navigating to the right solution, because any situation or any emergency will have 10 different ways to be handled, and none is wrong. But it is very important to understand and keep your wits about where are you, and then go on to how to navigate the situation. Once you are ready to navigate, or you find a solution that okay, this is one thing, from all the 10 things, this is one thing I am going to follow, then it is communicate. Communicate to the ground, communicate to your co-pilot, communicate to your passengers, everyone. That after a deliberate consideration of all the options which we had in hand, this is the best solution which I have. And this is how pilots do it, to come on to the right decision. Most of the time, it is a right decision. If you have seen that the Hudson River incident, it was in split of seconds when the bird had happened, the engine went off, both the engine went off, and the pilot decided to land on the river. It's something. If you have not seen the Hudson River incident or the accident, you should go watch the YouTube, watch the movie. There are so many things available on the internet, and this is one great example of how a pilot navigate uh, through difficult times, how the decision making affects, and how a good pilot, is differentiated from others. Okay, coming on to lesson number 5, and this is my favorite. This is I have the controls. I've been in life coaching for a long, long time. I've been mentoring students. I've been mentoring professionals on the life matters, handling situations, handling turbulent times. And I feel this one phrase, that I have the control, is uh, is that confidence which everyone should have leading their life. How it happens is, in the aviation, or when we are flying, the pilot says, and it is a very authoritative voice when we say that I have the controls. I have the control means that now everything is on me. That is my responsibility to save the aircraft, to save the passengers, to do everything. So I will be responsible for whatever I'm doing now. And I think it very nicely translates into life, because when I have seen many people who depend on uh, the external circumstances. They get affected by it so badly that they lose control of their life. They lose the confidence in saying that I have controls. And there was one case where I have mentored a girl who lost all hopes in she was a student, and she was under a lot of pressure of studies, of parents, of school education, all those things. And when we had that 101 session, the as a third person, the problem for to me looked very small, because yes, she was under pressure, and she lost that control of being in control. It is very important to feel responsible for yourself. It is very important to say that I am in control. It's because the moment you say I am in control, you are taking the responsibility of every decision. You are taking the responsibility of yourself, and you're taking the responsibility of whatever you decide. It is very, very important. So the key takeaways from this is, structured thinking is very, very important in this. Stepwise thinking, don't jumble up, don't. Right now, I feel that we all are information obese. This is a new term I just coined. There's a lot of information everywhere, and with the growth of social media, you are always fed information which most of the time, 90% of the time, it is not serving you anymore. So be very careful about whatever you are feeding to your brain, because once all the information is inside you, it is getting stored. Everything is getting stored. So filter whatever you want to see. Be positive. And once we say that think like a pilot, the pilots are very, very focused. When we enter the cockpit, we are told that you keep your mobiles away, keep everything aside, keep all your problems. The only thing you have to maintain is the aircraft safe landing and the lives of passengers. It is very important to say it to ourselves again and again, because right now the external environment is so strong that it is influencing you day in and out. It's very important for all of us to maintain that calm, to maintain the sanctity of what we want to do or feed to our mind, plus to the families also. It is, I think, women are the center point, the center energy of their house. Whether they are working or not working, it doesn't matter, but you are the center of the house. Whatever is coming in your you are responsible for whatever is fed to your family. So it is not just food, but a lot of information, lot of gyan. Everyone is giving you gyan. So take care of yourself. Take care of what you practice on a day-to-day basis and how you handle your life. So these are my 5 lessons, 5 mantras for all of you to apply in your life and continue living a very, very good life. Just to summarize, what we have learned today is number one, to fly well in adverse conditions, you have to fall back to your basic skills. The first mantra. So know your strengths, know well whatever your strengths are, work on them on a day-to-day basis, and you'll be bang on in deciding and taking charge of your life. The second one, the sky above and the runway behind is of no use. Be foresighted and be very, very proactive in whatever you are doing. The third thing, when to listen and when to decide. Again, listen to everyone, decide on your own. You are being responsible for your life. The fourth one, aviate, navigate, and communicate. These are the 3 things which you should always follow while handling any situation. Be be very aware of the surroundings, how it is affecting your decision. Second, how you find out the best solution out of 10 solutions, and then communicate it to all with confidence. And the last one, take charge of your life. Say this often to yourself that I have the controls. The moment you say I have the controls, it is all done for you and your families and everyone around you. So this is a part of empowering. This is a part of how we support each other. I'm very blessed to be among very, very strong women uh, right now. Very, very cooperative women all around my social circle, my office network, and plus my family. So we all are doing good, and we continue to do good. Okay, so I am done. Any questions from your side? Please let me know.
Yeah, can I ask something?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to ask you, like in a real life scenario, if you're in an emergency or a crisis situation in a cockpit and you have limited data or information to work with, so how do you decide? How do you know that what you've decided is the right, decision to go with?
Okay. So there was a time when I used to decide and work a lot on finding the solution and decide. But now, with experience, I have turned the other way around. So what I do is I decide and then work on it. So that's my mantra nowadays. That because I see that it is a very normal practice uh, for leadership or in any situation when you see when you are deciding, there is always less. You don't have the purview. You don't have all the things under your control, and you don't have the full information. You will never know that whatever you are deciding right now, it will fulfill your desires, or it will be right decision or not. So the best thing is, keep learning, keep taking inputs, decide, and then work on it to make that decision right. So this is my mantra nowadays. I decide. I don't take much time in deciding, but yes, I do a lot of hard work, consistent work in making that decision possible.
Thank you.
Yes, Revati.
Ma'am, it's an absolute pleasure connecting with you. Attending your session. It's been a while we got connected on LinkedIn. I don't know whether you remember or not. It's been a while. And actually, my question to you is, how about your Air Force days? For example, I authored a book on aviation psychology. You know what, ma'am? When I interviewed the pilots and the people working in the aviation industry, they mostly mention they are literally reluctant or step back to access the mental health support. Now we are into life coaching. So how about during those period? Of course, there will be a challenging days. There will be definitely a challenging days. So how do you handle it? Have you got any feel like any you have any hesitance or have feel like you have any stigma on accessing the mental health support? How was those days, ma'am? I want to know your views.
Thank you, Revati, for this question, because this is one thing which most of the women, working women, are uh, undergoing these kind of situations when after delivery, or after once you have a child, everything goes haywire. So
True.
in the there are two. I will answer it in two parts. One is, what is the environment in military forces? In the Air Force, I would say that it's brilliant. I never had any problems. In fact, when I went, yes, the initial thing is difficult to take, because one pilot goes down from flying, it takes on to other people or the squadron on how to handle it, because it's a added work, right? So when I announced my flight commander that I'm pregnant, so he was the first question he asked me whether I should be happy or sad. So it's a perspective, because definitely he is losing a pilot for a few months, and the second is like he's happy for me, because I've been flying and being committed to the force. The second part of this is, once you have a baby, for any women, whether in flying or not in flying, I would say build up your support system. If you want to move ahead, you have to build up your support system. And this support system can be anyone, your family members, your friends, from anyone. The good part in Forge or in military is you have a very good social backing, very good social backing, which is not there outside, I would say. I had full family support from my parents and my husband's parent, but I also have had a very good backing from my colleagues. Uh, I left my child for 15 days when she was 8 months old with my parents. And there was not even a day when somebody not visited them. So this is a marked difference between I would say the military upbringing. Everyone is very well connected. Outside, yes, challenges are there. Challenges are there. There's no doubt about it. But I would say that whenever pregnancy sessions are happening, whenever you are uh, you know telling someone that, okay, these are the challenges, or these are the happy times you are going to see, we should always discuss the point on the support system, because right now everyone is talented, everyone has the opportunity. The one who moves forward is with good backing. If you have a good backing, you have a good support, only then you will move forward. And I have seen many cases, many women who are much talented than me, doing very well for themselves, but just because of no backing up or not a good support system, they have been long back.
Amazing, ma'am. Thank you so much for your answer. And I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you have a great support system.
Yes, yes. And I think all of us should build up that kind
True
of
that.
trust.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, any more questions or we can drop? Yes, Shubha. Hi, Shubha. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, we have the students who are very much interested in going into military and the Air Force. And what would be your suggestions for them? You know, for this, they are studying in second year in college, but in a very rural area. But their
Okay.
main motto is to go into the military or the Air Force. And now they
Mhm.
are taking, I think they are in NCC. They are NCC cadets actually.
Oh, yes.
So what
Okay.
would be what? Yeah.
Yeah, so just to tell you that I'm also an NCC cadet, and NCC is the best way to come into the militaries because NCC gives you a glimpse, a trailer of what your life is going to be. As I told you that my flying started from NCC, I had no clue that I will be going to a pilot or I will be going into the military forces. But NCC gave me the right guidance that, okay, this is my spot or this is my passion. Before that, I never touched any aircraft. I never knew that, this is the kind of life I will be able to lead. So NCC is a great, great way. Also, you have to have good networking. I would say that speak to the right people because I've seen there are many people who get misguided on, especially the students. They get
Okay.
misguided on